than most people can imagine. Here's Amateur Radio Newsline Skeeter Nash, N5ASH.
The story of the 2015 Nepal earthquake is a story worth telling again and again, not just because it's important to remember the horror of that April day, but to learn from the response by radio amateurs who stepped in. That was the narrative that one of the amateurs from Kathmandu shared earlier this month on a visit to Santa Clara, California. Sanjeev Pandey, 9N1SP, made his presentation to an audience of about 100, comprising Santa Clara firefighters, Aries and Races members, Bayonet participants, and others in that city. Pandey's visit was arranged to help in fine-tuning earthquake response in this California region, especially since the Kathmandu Valley, where the April 2015 quake occurred, has a pattern of fault lines similar to those beneath this Silicon Valley city. Pandey told his listeners, quote, "The Nepali people have gone through a tremendous ordeal. If our experience can help others in different parts of the world to better prepare for disasters, then this can be regarded as a positive outcome," end quote. Pandey had come to the U.S. for the International Microwave Symposium, where he talked about ham radio in post-secondary education. But he was pleased to be able to share how ham radio provided emergency response and continued to make post-quake relief available. The magnitude 7.9 quake is considered to be the worst to hit Nepal in 80 years. His hosts and listeners had something to share with him as well. He was given 2 handheld transceivers as gifts to scouts in Nepal from local scout leader Richard Silkebakken, KM6CPH, and members of the Monterey Bay Council's Cub Scout Pack 32. The Global Nepali Professional Network also received a certificate of recognition from Congress, presented by Representative Mike Honda. It was the network's Radio Mala program that built 2 ham radio repeaters, which were the only ones able to operate in Nepal during the quake. Speaking of repeaters, Pandey made note of their successful operation and encouraged licensed hams attending the presentation to join him and his fellow hams on the N91SP repeater via IRLP and Echolink. They'll be listening, as always. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Skeeter Nash, N5ASH. Hams in Malaysia associate the call sign 9M2RDX with a top DXer, a mentor, a friend. This month, however, he became a silent key. Here's Newsline's Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, with more.
Members of the Malaysian Amateur Radio Transmitter Society are grieving the loss of Mohd Rizal Mahmud, 9 Mike 2 Romeo Delta X-ray, who became a silent key on the 12th of June in a Malaysian hospital. The award-winning DXer was a noted contester and beloved Elmer, who was also active in scouting. Since becoming licensed in 2006, he filled his life with amateur radio activities. His friend Piju, 9 Mike 2 Papa Juliet uniform, who notified Amateur Radio Newsline of Rizal's death, described him as, quote, a great man, down to earth, humble, a motivated and dedicated QSL manager, also a scout leader, a great motivator, who used to hold ham radio introduction classes and was involved in emergency communications. He helped his local ham radio community and also our National Ham Radio Club. A hospital medical assistant by profession, he was described by his friend Piju as a kind and helpful guy. As seen on his profile page on QRZ, he was also unflinching in his love of amateur radio. The very bottom of his biography page displays this sentiment: life is simple. Eat, sleep, DX. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In the world of DX, there are still a few remaining days to work Koji JM1CAX, who will stay on in Gambia as C5NX until June 18th. QSLs should be directed to the logbook of the world. Nobuaki JA0JHQ is active as 9N7NH from Kathmandu, Nepal, from June 16th to the 20th, and will participate in the Eurasian DX contest on June 18th and 19th. QSL via his home call. Using the call sign 3BH/M0RCX, Robert M0RCX is operating holiday style from Mauritius until July 14th. QSL manager is EB7DX. Listen for John K9EL working as FS/K9EL from St. Martin Island until June 23rd. He is on all bands 80 to 6 meters working CW, SSB, and RIDI. QSLs can be obtained via Club Log OQRS. There's nothing like kicking back on a sunny day afloat in the South Pacific, doing a little low-power transmitting on 30 meters. As the weather turns warmer, what ham wouldn't envy this kind of privilege? Okay, well, that call sign doesn't belong to any OM or even a YL, but a Marine buoy with the call sign VL1SIX. That spells BUOY for Marine Buoy. This is a solar-powered buoy being carried steadily on the waters of the Pacific Ocean where it was launched from a yacht this past May 17th. Being at sea like this can be a good thing. In this case, the ocean floater is helping track sea currents and precipitation. New Zealand amateur Bob Sutton, ZL1RS, noted in a published report that its weak signal on WSPR and JT9 modes has been reporting on the tides, current, and wind, also sending its battery voltage, position, and information about the temperature. To tune in, try dialing to 10.1387 megahertz for WSPR. For JT9 signal, you're listening just above the whisper band at 1730 hertz on the waterfall. You'll get everything but that nice South Pacific breeze. With thanks to Alan Labs, the ARRL, CQ Magazine, Facebook, Half Holly in the Rain Report, the IARU, Monica Grimaldo of Tuscan News Now,